And bingo, we are live in the power team. Hello, Ronald.
Hi.
So as we can all see, we have a little surprise here. We're live in our Facebook group, the power team. Let me just go to the Facebook group so I can see who's coming on here. We'll just give everybody a minute to log in. Power team, Cloud Token. As we all know, we're approaching 10,000 members in the Power Team group, so this is growing exponentially. And the Power Team is more than just one group, right? This is something that is it's everybody's group.
Yep.
And I have Mr. Tyson. Hello, Mr. Tyson. And also Roger. Hello, Roger. So listen, everybody, you're going to see the updates here. I wanted to do a little broadcast with Ronald just to share a lot of the things that we're going through right now, a lot of the things that we're going through really soon. So, Ronald, thank you for coming on and taking time for your busy schedule. You're a multitasker because you're always doing a lot of things all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm checking on the boards now, on the trades, and talking to you, and I'm replying on the Facebook.
So
yeah, a lot of things are going on.
This is Ronald. I mean, you can't have more transparent than that, and we all love you for that. And with all honesty, I mean, a lot of people say it. Whether, yes, listen, everybody, there's going to be a couple of nice things I want to share what I know because I've been talking a lot to Ronald these last days. The first thing that we want to talk about is conversions are back. Okay, it's been a couple of days, so let's all understand ourselves. Conversions are back. I've been connecting with a lot of our members. Everything's back to normal. See, a lot of people started the little panic button because we've seen this in the past, and people right away jump to conclusions. A lot of people were hurt. It's okay, everybody. Listen, everything is back to normal. There was never nothing wrong. It's just that a lot of people were not following what Ronald was sharing on his Facebook because he was updating us on what was the issue. Okay, everybody. He was telling us the knobs. Everything was explained, but it's okay. Now, conversions for those who are trying it for the last couple of days, sometimes they work very fast. Okay, I spoke to Sean, it was immediate. Alicia was immediate. Other times, when you go to convert, listen carefully, okay? Because sometimes when you go to convert, sometimes you have to do it 3-4 times because you get an error message. You do it 1, 2, 3, and it works after 3-4 times. There's other times where when you do it, it doesn't work at all. You have to come back later. Why is that? It's because it's overloaded. Am I correct, Ronald? The system is, just let me unmute you here.
There are two problems here. The first problem that you will see is actually a 404 or 505 issue. That is actually due to the issue that we have with our pool. The pool itself, which we are using as an API to actually do all the payouts, they give us a certain limit on how many times or how frequent we can call the APIs, right? Now, what happens is the phones itself, there are a lot of phones actually calling the API all the time for the conversion, and it hit their max cap. So what we are doing is waiting for the reply to put us onto an enterprise package, whereby we have to pay a lot more because we're going to get our own dedicated servers for the API as well for it. So we're waiting for the provider to come back to us for that. And once that is done, then the 404, 505 issue will be gone. And now comes to the second one, which is the 2FA issue. I think most of you guys also face this issue whereby you will get a problem when you're actually entering the 2FA, saying that it's incorrect and things like that, right? Actually, it's not incorrect. It's that on the 2FA site itself, we found out that there were some timeout issues generated from there. So we are looking into this. There's two solutions now to do this. One is we actually add more servers over there to spread out the load. The second one is actually to redesign the engine itself. So the lead engineer in the 2FA side is actually working on it now. I'm not sure which method he took, but he's working on this, and hopefully by next week itself, early next week, probably Monday, Tuesday, this problem will be resolved. Yeah, so that's the thing. And the most important one is actually on the the conversion, not withdrawal, but on the conversion part. The 2FA effects withdrawal and conversion. So once that is fixed, these two should be done. Now, talking about conversion. Conversion has been a pain for us because maybe because of bad press, because of things that we said, because of people are just panicky, all right? And a lot of CTOs are converted into Ethereum. Just the last 3 days, if you were to go to Etherscan, look at the wallet address, you'll know that we have actually paid out close to about 70,000 Ethereum, all right? That is 70,000 Ethereum worth. And you calculate at today's price, which is about 181, right? Just imagine, ETH was at 160. I bought it until it became 170 plus, and now it's 181. All right, that's the amount of Ethereum that you guys have converted and pushed up the market so far, which is okay. So yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, so you can check it out from that Etherscan itself. There are a lot of people changing now as well. So yeah, it should be working.
Listen, thank you very much, because you know what, it's I really wanted to just get it through to everybody so we all understand what's happening here. So basically, conversions have been working for 3 days. He just told you the insane amount of everything.
Yeah.
I personally received mine. I mean, everybody I'm talking to have received. Like I said, sometimes it's fast. Sometimes we get an error and you have to do it 2-3 times. Sometimes you get a 2FA error, and sometimes you get not enough. I don't know, but at the end of the day. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes there's a couple of errors, and sometimes you just have to come back a little bit later because there's just too much traffic. All right, seriously, there's just too much traffic. So what Ronald has discussed with a lot of his leaders, and was also asking the community, what would you think if there's no limit, okay? So you can take out whatever you want. There's no cap here. There's no shortage of money to pay out. There's none of that. So let's all take that out of the going nowhere, everybody. I mean, doesn't it show in our face? We're going nowhere. We're getting ready for a launch on October 5. That's going to be something that you better be there, because I was there May 12. Listen carefully. May 12, I was at the launch, and the kind of launch that Cloud Token does without any hype is something that is memorable. It has so much class. You need to be to that event. The next event that we're doing October 5 is going to be even 5 times, 10 times, even more glam, bigger than what we did on May 12. When we went to May 12, everybody that went there, when we got back home, we just exploded our business. Imagine what's going to happen this time. I can just tell you right away, this is going nowhere in the short term and not even in the long term. Now, what I want everybody to understand is this. Since there's so much congestion, what Ronald came up as a solution, he says, listen, if everybody's just trying to convert continuously every minute, every day, and there's just too much traffic, why don't we just do 2 conversions a week? You decide when you want to do your 2 conversions. You can take them out when you want. He's not telling us what day, that you only have 2 conversions a week, and you can take out whatever you want. You know what? I was looking at each other, and I was talking to all my leaders, and everybody said, well, that's smart. Why not? I mean, at the end of the day, instead of taking out a little bit every day, just take out what you need every twice a week. Remember, everybody, you're supposed to also keep some, because Cloud Token, remember when we started Cloud Token, we were thinking that it's going to go up and go up. Well, there is still that possibility that this is going to go up in the near future. Why? Because there's some things that are going to be added. And I'm going to go over these things with Ronald just a little bit. I don't want to keep him too long here today. It was a gift for him to come on, especially for our community, because it shows you how close he is to us and to the power team and to everybody. And he respects us, okay? One thing I want everybody to understand, conversions are okay. Please just do it a little bit less. Do it for what you need. Let's just stop congesting the system for nothing. Give time to Ronald and his engineers to fix out the little issues that we still have. Remember that this is still a startup. You know, sometimes we tend to forget that Cloud Token is still, by the way, it's still a baby. It's only 3 months old. And by the way, we're not Cloud Token anymore. We're going to Cloud 2.0. Cloud 2.0, why? Because it's a company. You know, it's not just a token. Cloud 2.0. I hope you put that in your heart and soul. You understand where we're going. This is a bigger concept than just Cloud Token. It's going to become a big platform with we're launching the debit card, right, Ronald? October.
Yep.
Hey, debit card. Do you realize what that means? I hope you understand the philosophy here. When people try to compare you with other things that are, it's not similar at all. Have you ever seen the other things? I'm not going to mention them. Have you ever seen them on the App Store? No. Cloud Token is on the App Store. Now, why are we on the App Store? Well, it's because there is a real company behind it, and you need some paperwork. You just don't get on the App Store like clicking a finger. It doesn't work like that. How about another thing? We're going to have a MasterCard. Is it MasterCard and Cloud, the debit card? Now, do you think the other things that we're talking about comparing to us, they would have a MasterCard and Cloud? No. So why are some people still trying to, you know why? I'll tell you why. Because when you start being big and when you start attracting attention, like we're attracting attention, I'm sorry, but it's just the way it is. When you're on top, people try to bring you down, and they'll do it anyway. They'll do it any dirty way they can. So us as a community right now, we have to stick together. And do you believe in Cloud? Do you know, honestly, do you believe in Cloud? That's why Ronald sometimes says to you, says, listen, if you're not happy, just take your money and leave. He doesn't say it in a vulgar way or in a mean way. He says it because he really means it. I mean, we're working so hard to give you something that's real, that's legit. We're not there trying to pump up the price. Like, he's not pumping up the price like other projects that we've seen in the past. Because remember, when you see the price go up very, very fast, if there's no real value behind it, it means that they're just manipulating the price. Now, what does that do? It gets you excited. By getting excited, you put more money in, more people come in. Well, you know what? As long as more money comes in than what goes out, the company is going to stay there. That's why sometimes you see a company 3 months. Sometimes you see them last 6 months. And when we're lucky, we might see them last a year. But what happens if the price goes up too fast? At a certain point, people start withdrawing. So what happens when everybody starts withdrawing $100 when they're at 100? If it's not really worth 100, well, that's when the company sees more money go out, come in. That's when they usually leave, okay? Well, Ronald is not doing that. He's keeping the value of our token. It's not going up because there's as much money coming in than going out. That's the reality right now. But the reality, don't forget, what are we doing now? What is Ronald doing? What is Cloud doing? Does anybody realize it? We're adding other income streams. October 5, we're launching the debit card. Everybody that's going to the event is going to have a debit card that's going to the event, right?
Yep.
Or you're trying to do that, or is it yes? Just to make sure.
Yes, provided if you give me the KYC information. So, yeah.
You know how to do the KYC, eh? You upload your app. First of all, Android has been upgraded. So when you upgrade your app, you'll see that you can see, you know where the event icon came out? Well, you'll have another icon called card, and that's where you can do your KYC. On Apple, like every time, it's always after Android. So every time we have an upgrade, Apple follows always after. All right. So the credit card is going to be launched October 5. Isn't that one of the things that we've been selling for 3 months? It's happening. Pretty cool. Yep. I'm really happy. Now, I don't want to know everything about the card because I'm going to wait for October 5 to share the details. But I just want to understand one simple thing. Does it mean that I can preload my card with CTOs and spend those CTOs directly with the card, Ronald? Or just
it's going to be something like that, but we can't actually coin it this way. So basically what you do is you were to hedge or you have to collateralize your CTOs, okay? Put it in there. Let's say, for example, you put in, let's say, 10,000 CTOs, right? And we will unlock the equivalent in US dollars for you on the card itself. Every card itself is self-funded. It's already pre-funded, which means that it has a actually it has a 14K limit, but to make it much more sustainable, we put it up to 10. So now you have a 10K limit. That's per month. So you can spend up to 10,000 a month with that card itself.
Did everybody understand that? Cloud 2.0, we're going to have a debit card with MasterCard with our logo on it. And we're going to be able to preload it with CTOs, and they're going to put the equivalent in money. Do you understand what that means? I do. I can't wait till I get back from the event and start making some videos with that card. All the naysayers and all the people that are trying to give us a hard time, won't it be nice to be able to do a video here? Look at this. Okay, keep on, just keep on. But it's like every time we're going to have a little bit more ammunition and more ammunition. So that's number one. Number two, we're going to be launching a merchant program. We're not going to get into all the details right now. I don't want to take too much of his time. But the merchant program is another income stream. If I'm not wrong, it's more money coming in?
Yeah, actually, I'm quite excited about the merchant program itself. The merchant program is going to be an affiliate program, which means that the networkers or the partners itself, if it will sign up with a merchant and the merchant itself now can accept CTO and the rest of the cryptocurrencies, we're going to have up to all the major ones are going to be there minimum. So if anybody were to actually spend at the merchant using any of the cryptocurrencies, you are going to get paid, right? And there is going to be an affiliate program for this as well. So everyone in the tree itself will have a certain payout that is actually different than what Jarvis is, okay? So it's going to be really cool. Now, why would the merchant want to go with you? Very simple, all right? Number one is, okay, because the merchant don't need to hold any crypto as their liquidity, okay? What happens is, every time someone spends the crypto at the store or at the merchant itself, the merchant can choose how many percent he wants to keep and how many percent gets liquidated into fiat. Because you must understand that merchants itself need to pay their suppliers. The suppliers don't use crypto, they use fiat, right? So we have that covered for the merchant itself. So there's no loss there. There's no MDR fees. But one thing we have for the merchant is this. Now, if somebody were to walk to the merchant and say that, hey, can I buy Ethereum, for example? Yeah, the merchant can sell them the Ethereum that is in the system itself, okay? Now, if the merchant itself has Ethereum enough to actually sell to the buyer, the merchant keeps the whole 1% because they're selling it off from the side. If the merchant don't have the Ethereum to sell and they sell it through us, okay, which the Ethereum coming from our side itself, they get 0.5%, right? Which they also earn, okay? Now, the merchant itself is getting cash, right? So because they're selling Ethereum, they're selling coins and things like that, so they're getting cash. So to handle cash itself is a very dangerous thing, right? So networkers or our customers, okay, whoever who has CTOs or whatever, can actually go to the merchant and say that, okay, I want to withdraw cash. And you pass in the CTO, they pass you the cash, right? So now you have millions and millions of like ATM machines, which are all the merchants itself, okay? To handle cash, it costs about 4 to 6% of the actual amount in Singapore because of all the time or the necessary infrastructure you need to actually handle the cash, to go to the bank and this and that, the time loss and so on and so forth, all right? So basically, this is one of the ways that a lot of merchants, especially convenience stores, are actually using to disperse the cash out back to the public, so they can actually lower down the cost of handling this. Right now, there's only one small portion of what the merchants can increase their revenue with. The second one that we have is actually we are actually working with we're working on Cloud SIM, and Cloud SIM itself, we are getting a lot of this migrant workers or anyone that actually wants to use the SIM the SIM card for basically free, right? So migrant workers, they only spend money on two things actually. One is actually on their phone bills or their data, which because they need to communicate home, right? The second is actually the cost of sending money back home. Now, one of the cool things about a merchant that can do is the merchant can actually become a remittance point, or what we call cash point now. So for example, if you are in let's say in Indonesia itself, okay, and you are a cash point, or what we call our cloud cash point, right? A merchant. Now, when somebody sends a remittance back home, okay, what their family members at home will get is in a token form, which is the GNDT token. They can go to you as a merchant and say that, okay, I want to actually sell these tokens back to you. And what you get as a merchant is you get 1% out from there. Okay, so this is like also selling the cryptos itself. So we are actually helping small businesses to actually earn more revenue by doing a crypto balancing act here, okay, which they can choose themselves. Either they want to earn a extra 0.5%, or they just totally take a 0.5% risk-free. So that's what we are offering for the merchants itself. Now, remember, networkers, every time when there's a transaction going on itself, you get paid. You get a payout.
So that means that as networkers, we can bring merchants to cloud. Is that it? We can actually
Yep.
merchants. Now, can we also do that in the United States, or it's just in Asia for right now?
We are working out with the lawyers to see in which jurisdictions can we launch this at, and what are the things that we need to get a license in order to do that. For example, in the States, what type of license we need, but I don't think we need any in the States as well. So we are actually looking at other countries, for example, like India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, we don't need that, and in various parts like Vietnam, or the Philippines is okay. So there are many other of these places. We are trying to figure out what are the necessary licenses that we need in order to make this happen. So these are the development that is going through. Hopefully we can launch this out before the end of this year as well. So you must understand the big picture of where we are going. We always say that we want to become the largest wallet in the whole world, but how can we actually do that? So this is the way, using the networkers, okay, to spread out into the merchant community, okay? 1.5 million networkers to get 20 million merchants. Our cloud SIM will bring in the customers because it's going to go for free, right? Whereby anyone with $200 putting into the system itself, they can get like 4 to 6 gig, 4 or 6 gig free monthly. All right, and if they don't like the service itself, they just cancel off the contract. We'll pass them back the $200 or $300 or whatever. Right. So
let me understand the SIM card just quickly, because so many people are asking me. Basically, this SIM card is going to be a monthly subscription that's going to be offered within the Cloud Token wallet.
For the networkers at this moment, the test cards are all on a monthly, on a top-up basis. It's not monthly. Actually, it's on a package. For example, you have a 7 days package or 12 days package or whatever. This card itself, if you don't use it, it's there. All right. Only when you use it, you buy the package. Then it gets enabled. All right. So it's much more cost saving for our networkers. But for the general public, okay, that they actually buy the global SIM, there's going to be one SIM for the entire world. All right. You actually load in a fixed amount, okay, just like Jarvis, you put in a fixed amount, and we cover you per month, okay, of a certain data capacity. You get what I mean? Okay,
so basically, right now you have two SIMs. Right now we're testing. One is for Europe and Canada, America, and the other one is for Asia. Right now, what you're trying to do is a global SIM. This global SIM, you're going to be able to purchase it monthly or by package within the app. And
so the global SIM itself is going to be sold through the networkers or through our own network, okay? And the global SIM itself is a non-subscription, but you load in like Jarvis, okay? You put in $200 like into Jarvis itself, and Jarvis gives you, let's say 6% a monthly return. So 6%, you're talking about maybe $18 or $17 or something like that, right? So with this $17 itself, we're going to buy a package for you, and you don't need to pay for the $17 itself because we actually earn it for you, right?
Okay. Wow, that's pretty nice, man. That's pretty neat. So it's going to become cost effective for a lot of third world countries too. If I'm
so basically we're trying to get up to 100 million customers. So actually you can see what I've actually done. I had two categories now. The networkers are all the partners itself, okay, that is earning all of this, and then you have the customers itself, which is only purely using the services, right? And the customers itself will generate revenue for the whole entire ecosystem, to make ourselves to be what we call economically sustainable. That's how we can actually run a sustainable wallet business that is going to span across the globe. Okay, and hopefully we can reach there within 3 years.
This is huge, everybody. I hope you understand the implication of what. By the way, there's a lot of people watching us right now live on the Power Team. Hi, everybody that's watching. This is really huge because this just opens up the doors. It just makes cloud, like, it's not just cloud, Jarvis, what we're doing, us, and what we're sharing. It just takes us to a whole new sphere right now where we're actually going into these SIM cards. We're going to be touching a whole new clientele, a whole new population, a whole new niche of people. And remember that as we're going into the merchant program, as we're going into the SIM cards, you understand what that does to Cloud 2.0 instead of Cloud Token and all these people that are trying to, why? I don't know why they're on our backs for a couple of months and you hear so much. Now we're just like kind of distancing ourselves a little bit with a real product, with something that is going to be like, our name is not just going to be associated with the Jarvis. Our name is going to be associated with SIM. Our name is going to be associated with the merchant program. Yes, I'm hearing some questions. Will the SIM be in South America too? I mean, this is worldwide. When you say worldwide, it's worldwide.
Yep.
Yes. So yes. And by the way, the merchant program, I mean, there'll be all these things that we're talking about now. October 5, is it like, are we going to have like details, everything written down somewhere where you can actually study how the SIM works? And because now you're sharing information that, like, most of us, there'll be a way that we'll have everything written down to clarify things.
October 5th is going to be the time whereby we let our selected few, what we call a targeted group testing. So how we test products, right? We actually load this to the targeted few, which is 6,000 of you guys, to actually do it. And the cool thing about this is you're from all across the globe. So the US cards can be tested in the States to see whether it's working fine, whether you love it, this model. Because you're paying through CTOs, which you earn daily, okay, from cloud, you don't need to pay for your data fees anymore.
Imagine. That means that now we can use our clouds to pay for our data feeds on our phones. And
yeah,
huge, man. Everybody, we're going into a testing phase, okay, October 5. This is not the official launch. We're going to be having a testing phase, like Ronald just shared, where we're going to be trying it out in all parts of the world to see if there's any glitches, if there's some things that have to be fixed. And later, when everything is tested and ready to roll, I guess that's when we'll see it officially on the app, where we can actually. Now, right now, it's not going to be on the app. It's going to be testing and after on the app. Just like the merchant program is going to be launching, testing, but it's going to be afterwards on the app. The last part of the puzzle that I wanted to share with everybody was maybe the travel portal. Is this something that we're going to see for October 5? Like,
yep. Yes. So the travel portal is going to be in there.
Okay.
In the app itself.
It's going to be in the app itself, the travel portal, October 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard that, everybody? Here's another piece of the puzzle. So as we are advancing in this awesome project, the more that you start talking about SIM, start talking about the merchant program, start talking about the travel program, don't you realize what we're doing right here? We're slowly entering a real company with a real ecosystem, with a real future. And I mean, something that has longevity and has a real essence and meaning behind it. That's how I'm seeing it, everybody. I hope you're reading this message exactly like I wanted everybody to understand it, because this is a lot bigger than what we've been. That, like, some people really don't understand what we're doing here or where we're going. Most wallets is just basically a wallet with no real essence. That's not Cloud 2.0. Cloud 2.0 is so much more than just a wallet. In the near future, I know that right now we have so many coins. I don't really mind whether we have more or less. Somebody's asking, do we plan on having more coins on the wallet soon, or?
Well, I promised the Polish cloud that it's going to be 2 more. We're going to put in EOS and XRP. So these 2 are going to be there. And the atomic swap feature is going to be swapping bidirectionally. And next week itself, because of the conversion issues.
Let me understand that. Wait a second, because right now, I didn't try it out a lot, but I should. Right now we have swap. the swap right now is just in Jarvis. It's not on the super wallet, right? Right now we can swap.
No, it's from outside in as well. So, for example, if you have XRP, you can actually swap it into TUSD. But a lot of people want it bi-directional, which means that it can be to either Ethereum, or it can be any of the 6 that we support. So basically, we will have that feature up very soon for the atomic swap. And the second thing is into Jarvis itself, because Jarvis itself only supports TUSD now, right? So it's going to be a multiple 6 currencies that we support as well. So now what we let you do is, let's say, for example, you have CTOs, you can actually swap it directly into any of the 6 by next week. So that will be open up.
Did I understand right? You said by next week, we'll be able to take CTOs and convert them right away to one of the 6 coins in the app, not just to Ethereum. We can put it in Litecoin and Bitcoin and whatever we want. Did I just hear that? Oh, wow. Hey, did you hear that, everybody? Next week, you just said it live. I hope you better be certain of what because this video is going to go viral tomorrow, Ronald.
So that's what we have been planning. The thing is, we noticed that a lot of people actually took out the Ethereum, they went back out, and then now they want to come back in again. And because of the bottleneck itself, so we are killing ourselves because they're actually taking this Ethereum and they can't come back in. All right. Wow. So we actually saving that process and saving the cost itself from going in and out. So now you can actually just swap from your CTOs directly into any of the 6 pairs.
Because we have to take our CTOs, put it in Ethereum cash it out. From Ethereum out, we have to put it to Bitcoin, and there's always fee. Right now, we can do that with the app. I mean, come on, please, this is too much. Now, and you're also telling me that, can we do it now? I'm sorry, or is it like pretty soon? If people that are in Jarvis that have Bitcoin or Ethereum in Jarvis, they want to switch it to TUSD. Can we do that now? Is it already ready?
Yes, now? It's really ready. But now it's only TUSD, right? So basically what we're going to open up is, let's say, for example, TUSD, you can switch it back to Ethereum. Ethereum can switch to Bitcoin. Bitcoin can switch to Litecoin. Litecoin can switch to Doge. You can just keep moving it around.
Complete swap of all the coins, everybody. Listen, that's in Jarvis. It's the same thing in the super wallet. You're telling me in a week we'll be on both sides?
All right.
Hello, everybody. Is everybody understanding what's going on right here today? First of all, we are not just a cloud wallet like all the other wallets that we've seen in the past. We're a complete ecosystem that's going to have a complete merchant system, our own SIM card that's going to be worldwide, that's going to gain so much attention. We're going to be able to have a real exchange where you can swap things between each coin. On top of that, you can go to your Jarvis, take your Ethereum, because as you all know, when you put in Ethereum, sometimes it goes up and down. Like, I like it because I love crypto. I love the adrenaline of when it goes up and when it goes down. That's my high. But for some people that don't like that, you know what? Just put it in TUSD. So you can actually go in your Jarvis and do that. Hey, this is amazing. I didn't even think we're going to have all that fast. I'm serious, Ronald. This is even more than I expected. Wow. So for the sensitive eyes here and the sensitive ears, you will go to bed tonight and you will understand how big this project is. This is going to be the next PayPal WeChat in a different, grander scale. I hope you understand what that means. We're not that we're replacing WeChat, we're replacing PayPal. We're just giving you a general idea how huge this is going to become. As for the travel, because I didn't touch a lot on it, when we're talking about the travel, I know that it won't be worldwide right away. It's probably going to be starting off concentrating mostly in Asia, because that's where you're based, right? So
no, not really, because we have actually hooked up with one of the smaller backends. The only thing is the price comparison. Let's say, for example, if you are a Booking.com Genius member, right? Let's say if you're a Genius level 1, then probably you won't see much difference between our price and a level 1 Genius price. But if you're a level 2 Genius, right, you get a 50%, roughly is about 15% off, right? Then Booking.com is a bit cheaper than us. What we're going to do, because we have to go through this process, and the bigger backends that is supplying to these big guys, they require too much of a requirement from us, which we cannot fulfill yet. One of the things that they want us to fulfill is to put in a 5 million deposit, upper hand pre put in for the integration. So we're telling them that, hey, we are bringing you business. This shouldn't be right, but because they are really connected to Booking and Agoda and the rest of these guys, they're a bit arrogant, and it's difficult to work with them. So we're actually working with all the smaller parties to actually hook this up, and hopefully we can get a better deal by only showing that if our members were to go through us and the number of sales that we can bring in, and if it's large enough, maybe these guys would actually come back to us. All right. So yeah, we're moving step by step on the OTA side. Of course, it's going to be worldwide itself. You can book hotels from any part of the world. You can book tickets from any part of the world. We are also directly talking to chains of hotels. For example, like Marriott. We're actually talking to Marriott Group as well, so that we can actually get a discount. And this discount itself is actually huge for all of us. It's going to be slightly more than a corporate discount package that normally corporates get. So it's going to be much more affordable and better. But that's only for the Marriott Group. We're going to talk to the Hilton Group and the rest of the other groups as well, the chain of hotels, right? So these are the things that we are actually trying to work out from our end.
I hope you understand something, everybody. That when what's happening here, because everything comes with buy power. So when you start a community, okay, if you go see a company, you say, I'm going to buy you 100 shirts. You'll get a price for 100 shirts. If you go see the same company, you say, I'm going to buy you 1 million shirts, you'll get a better price for 1 million shirts. Well, right here in Cloud 2.0, not only are we going to be growing our network, because, we're growing it right now exponentially with what we have right away. Pretty soon we'll be growing also for the SIM card. Pretty soon it'll be growing also for the merchant program. So if you put all these moving pieces together, as this grows bigger and bigger and bigger, as our ecosystem grows bigger and bigger, that's when Ronald and Cloud will also start getting better deals, and you'll have bigger players that'll reach out to him because he's going to have a bigger buying power. So it means that maybe at the beginning it'll be like, who knows, maybe the same price, a little bit more expensive. But now my question to you is this, because if people, I'll give you an example. I can buy something on booking.com, but if I buy it on your platform, I'll pay $100 more. That I should buy it on your platform because the money that we return goes back into the system. No, I mean, or yeah, that has nothing to do with it. Like a little bit of profit goes back into the system as a income stream. Yep. Do I understand it wrong, right?
100% goes back to the profit pool. Yeah.
So it makes sense that if we're paying the same thing, even as another place, why not spend it in the ecosystem? Because the idea here is very simple. As we grow our community in all these different avenues, we should all together purchase as much as we can within our ecosystem, because we are working for our company, not for another company.
Yeah.
The bigger we get and the more money we all pump into this system, the easier it'll be for Ronald and Cloud to get better and better deals. I mean, did I explain that right? Makes sense?
Yep, correct.
I hope you guys understand this. And to buy, yes. And personally, you could, if I understand right, we can also use CTOs when we want to do things in the travel portal also. It's all the same thing. It's the CTO currency. Yes.
So one of the other things that we can actually do that I think a lot of people are asking for is actually this, right? There are reports whereby, there are very, very few, the selected fews, which while doing the, let's say your live streams, sometimes you leak out your private keys or you leak out your certain mnemonic keys and things like that, right? So one of the things that we are doing with our Cloud SIM cards is every SIM itself is embedded with a security certificate itself. So now you can be sure that all your accounts, all right, on the phone itself can be tied to this particular card. And this card is the only way. With this card and your phone and your password, you're able to only withdraw. So this is one way to actually skip the 2FA.
Okay, that's something that you're going to be introducing soon. Is another different card.
Yeah, with the same cloud SIM card itself.
Okay,
So
with
if you
the
put the
cloud
cloud SIM into the
wow.
phone, and yeah, that's it's going to be really time saver,
So
right? Just moving into FA, yeah, it's secure, but it is sometimes very tedious, especially when you're doing it multiple times.
So as we advance in this concept project, we're starting to see that this is a lot more than what we all could have imagined, right? And we were expecting a lot of beautiful things. But right now, I can see that there's a lot more happening, a lot faster, and from a lot of different angles. Now, will 100% of everything that he's been talking about, Ronald, be 100% ready? Listen, even if it would be 60 or 70% already, we're all blessed. Even if it would be 50% of everything he shared, we're already blessed, because remember that whatever he actually gives us, it's a starting point to continue building on it. And so I want you all to understand that, and all to, as a community, with a little patience, a little bit of love, a little bit of respect. Also on his Facebook wall, please, everybody. It's his Facebook wall. He's already gentle and very, this guy has an open heart. He's like an open book. Okay. I don't know him personally too much, but I can tell you how he is. He's an open book, and he'll say it as he is. He's not, he doesn't try to hide something. So on his wall, please, a little bit of respect. He's not support. So don't bash him out on his wall about support issues. You know where you go to support? Now, let me clarify something, because I agree that support has not always been as fast as what we want. But remember, this is a young company again. I always have to say this. It's a young company. I mean, we're there together to work out the issues and to make it better all together. So support, you go inside the app. If you go to the three little lines on top, you'll see support. You click on support, you'll see enter your email, right? And then you have to put in your 16-digit number and what the problem is, or you put in your email and support reaches out to you. Well, how does it work exactly, Ron?
Yeah, basically, we have about 5 support staff actually working on weekdays. We have one that actually works 365 days a week. So most of the time is, if you don't get a reply from support, they just ping me, you see. So I try to help whenever I can, but
You help
it's
a
not
lot,
going to be,
Ronald.
yeah,
You help a lot,
yeah.
but it's hard. Listen, this is going to grow
Mhm.
exponentially. You know that, eh? Especially after October 5. I hope you realize it, because in May 12, you saw what happened.
Yeah.
After October 5, no, after October 5, this is even worse what's going to happen. So is there a way of having a support, like with a bigger staff? Like, are you ready to do that? Like, to really, because this is going to grow big. I really mean it. After October 5, you're going to have your,
Yeah.
right?
Basically, what we're going to do is we're actually doing a lot of knowledge base work now on Zendesk itself. And once we have already established a huge knowledge base database, we're going to pass this job to a help desk environment, or a support help professional help desk company that actually is going to help us rectify these type of issues.
So
Yeah.
you're going to basically hire a team that specializes in taking care of support, like a lot of big
Yeah.
companies out there. Or
Yeah. Probably it's going to be based off Philippines or India
like
or
a lot of
somewhere else.
companies do, Ronald. Yes, because
Mhm.
we all understand why. I think I went pretty much over everything. I'm just going to end it on one thing. Thank you very much for being there today. I think we touched on all the beautiful points. One thing is important also, October 5. October 5 is the live event for Cloud. If you have not taken your ticket yet, I ask you one more time, go to your app, go to event, go purchase a ticket. We still have some left. There will not be until the end of the month. I want all those. Yes. You want to add something on that, please?
Yeah. So about the tickets itself, it's going fast. But the most important thing is actually I want to meet the leaders. So on October 6th itself, there's going to be a leadership event at the new office location, whereby we have prepared a lot of topics to actually talk about. We have about 166 last count, okay, of things that all the leaders need to address with us with, yeah. things, for example, like if you were to cross promote other projects, okay, what is our policy on that? It's going to be a policy setting, decision making time, whereby all the leaders are coming into play to determine the direction of how things are going to be. Especially, we're going to show the leaders a lot of the things that we're working on that we have not shared, which we cannot share openly at this moment, but it's going to be something really, really cool that all leaders will be able to use to actually spread the word out to the entire membership community. One thing that Luigi taught me is not everyone can actually see my Facebook. I keep thinking about that, and then now I realize, because if I don't add you as a friend, or you are not a friend of a friend or something like that, you won't be able to see any of my posts, which is true. And I only have about 10,000 followers, which means that only 10,000 people can actually see it. So yeah, in light of this, we actually had something prepared to counter this problem. And it's also one of the things that Matthew always wanted, whereby to build our own content platform, whereby all this information we can actually share it together with our whole entire 860 plus accounts, K plus accounts, right? So this is it's going to come out soon, and you guys, the leaders, will be using it first and see how it goes from there. More things are coming, especially on how leaders can actually manage groups and to encourage them, and also to see your whole entire organization, how it's going to be. So yeah, that's coming up very, very soon. Yeah.
Let me touch base quickly on that. Basically, these two topics, what we're talking about is, since not everybody has access to what Ronald is sharing on Facebook, like I tried to make them understand a couple of days ago, and some people don't get his updates. Like everybody else were getting his updates. Everybody was calm. Imagine all the people that weren't getting his updates. People were on the panic mode. So and then what happens? Then FUD created, and we know what happens. So to make things simpler, he's going to put a process within the app where everybody will have access to newsfeed, right? That's what you're going to be launching in 2-3 weeks, if I understood right. Right?
Yes, it's live.
And then you're in the app. Okay, so everybody it won't be Ronald on his Facebook that'll be updating us anymore. It'll be live on his. Yes, he'll still be on his Facebook, but not to update for cloud. He'll be just talking about everything that he wants to share about whatever he feels like talking about, but just like all of us. Not and the other thing that's also pretty cool is we're going to have a app where you can actually message all your directs, because you know that right now, when you want to message your directs, all we see is numbers. If somebody's under 500, we can't even tell them, hey, there's a problem here. So now we'll be able actually to send a message to all our directs and say, hey, everybody, I'm doing a training tonight. Or, hey, everybody, I have a special gift for all my directs. Or, hey, you're under 500. That's pretty awesome, that everybody will be able to talk to their directs. There's a lot like this. The list goes on and on. We're also going to have a committee where we'll be talking about issues. Like you said, there's a lot of things, basically when people are trying to poach people, it's not too much. I don't think the problem right now is promoting other opportunities, because at the end of the day, if we start looking at that, you'd have to almost kick out almost 3/4 of the cloud, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people doing other things in life. You can't do nothing about that. The one thing that we can do is protect ourselves internally, meaning that if you're in cloud and you're poaching other people in cloud, well, that's a no-no, or we'll see there. It's just like, there are things that we have to discuss that as a community, he's going to take all the top leaders and we'll take decisions, okay, to have a little bit of a compliancy thing. The other thing is there's so much more, right? Like, what are we allowed to say? What are we not allowed to say? Like, I think we'll outlay a sort of code of conduct also that I think everybody should also understand pretty soon, of what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do.
Yep. And a special treat is on the day itself, we're inviting the lawyers, our lawyers, from Mills Oakley, to be present on October 6th for the event as well. So yeah, and you could get to see all the pioneers, the leaders, the everyone that's running the whole project is going to be there. So yeah, that's one thing we plan to do during the October 6th leadership session, for that. So the October 5th is going to be a celebration where everybody participate and have fun. We'll be telling the things that it's going to be for the future. Where are we now? How are we getting there? How are we getting there? That's the most important one. Of course, a lot of people say that, please don't, because we're sharing secrets out to everyone else. Yeah, but the thing is, I need to address the everyone, every partner, what we're doing with everything. These are, I think, the most important part of it is to share as much as we can.
Paul, I saw your message. You're pretty funny. Listen, everybody, we have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul right here next to us, and his name is Ronald and I really admire this person. I love him. I love everything about him. I love everything about his vision of what he wants to do here. This is so big, so on a big scale that we can't even comprehend how big this project is. It's almost something that's impossible to achieve. And the only person on this planet who can probably achieve something like this is probably the GOAT himself. I don't see nobody else who can pull this off and actually make this into this big ecosystem that everybody's going to be able to use their CTOs inside our project for many different ways. And the more that it turns, the more buying power we have, the more that we'll get rebates and deals from big corporations. And this could actually become very, and you know what? It could probably go into years. We're not just talking about travel portal, SIM cards and merchant. Who knows where this can actually go at a certain point, because it's going to become so big. So I'm just going to let the future decide on that. October 6th is, the office is finished. Is it ready?
Yeah, correct.
It's ready. Like, it's officially ready. We can call you a day before and go visit the office. Like, it's a real office with you and trainers. And
yeah, probably by the time you land, we can bring you up for a spin.
Hey, what do you want more? Okay, we have the app on the App Store. We have a real office. We have a MasterCard with cloud on it. I mean, please, okay. Hey, October 5, you'll all have more ammunitions to share this to the world. And the last thing that's very important also, you saw that lately somebody was talking bad about cloud. I think Ronald started getting his lawyers on some of these people. And you know what? Everybody's messaging me, hey, he's talking bad. Hey, Luigi, we're not going to start running after everybody. No, come on, please. I think what Ronald maybe wanted to do was, who knows, maybe just do a couple here and there. So this way we have some ammunition to share with others. But you know what's going to happen, everybody? Do you really need to run after every person who's going to? No. Do you need to defend yourself? No. Do you believe in cloud? Yes. If you believe in cloud, do you need to defend yourself? Do you need to explain why you love cloud? No. I mean, I love my wife. You don't love her? Who cares? I love her. That's all you need to know, all right? Have an amazing day, everybody. And thank you for watching this call. There's a lot of people live. I know a lot of you are going to be watching the recording. Yes, I'm going to be posting it on all our Telegrams and all our WhatsApp and all the other groups. And for right now, give Ronald and Cloud a couple of days to sort out the little glitches and bugs that we're still facing. By the way, I think he said there in 14 days, 13, well, maybe 13 days, we're going to be going to 2 days a week to withdraw. No limit, so that'll be opening up the load, okay? And we won't have all this. So thank you very much. This was a very, very awesome and beautiful call. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Ronald.
Bye-bye.